Hi, tonight I'm going to talk about the Charlie Kirk thing and the three cults. And it's a little bit of clickbait. I also have a cold, but I'm trying to do a video at least once a day, once every other day. So, anyway, hopefully you're interested. What is the three cults in Charlie Kirk? Well, the three cults essentially are the Mormons, the Christian Nationalists, and the Zionists. And they're all involved in what happened to Charlie Kirk. I don't mean that there's a conspiracy that they all got together and decided they were going to assassinate him. It's a little bit different than that. What happened is somebody within one of those groups, or maybe it's a fourth group or whatever, some person or group of people, for whatever reason, decided they were going to assassinate him. I mean, obviously, right? But I don't think it was, Robinson. I don't think it was that kid. That story is just so preposterous. I mean, anyway, we'll leave that aside, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so what happened is that once this happened, once he was assassinated, each group works. And first, let me also just say that these people are not smart in the sense that they're not they don't all get together and say, okay, we're going to do this thing and we need to get our story straight, so it doesn't look like it's incredible. And that's the thing I sort of have to point out, that I think the main thing that I get out of looking at this, and why I'm saying it is just three, well, it's various people that we don't know, is they didn't get their story straight. I mean, that's one thing I think it should jump out to everyone. Nobody has their story straight, right? The FBI, first it says this person and that person and these texts, and we just made up these texts, right? I mean, everything is preposterous. No stories align together. So it's even sort of hard to make a conspiracy theory when the conspirators don't seem to have acted in a logical way. But that's sort of what I wanted to explain here, is that there's a lot of the media wants to tell a story, and it's better if you tell a story if it's just like one person, like a leader. Like we want that Hollywood thing, right? The Godfather, right? So, we talk about Trump or Putin or Netanyahu or any of these leaders of these countries, right? And you want to believe, okay, it's from them. They're doing this stuff. They're saying, go through this person out of the window, go assassinate this person, right? Go send ICE to do this, right? Go cut down those government agencies. I don't believe it works like that at all. I believe what we have is all these various interest groups, because the government. I think the fundamental problem is that we don't have enough oil and gas and energy to keep the economy growing. And that's a whole other thing. But I just want you to understand how I see it from my point of view, that the overarching thing that's going on is that growth has stopped, and everybody is, the governments can no longer provide things that people want. So as the governments can't provide anything, right? There's no support there really from the public, or the governments don't know what to do. So you have basically all these pirates. These pirates are like, oh, look, the ships aren't being guarded enough on the high seas. Let's go get them. And that's sort of what's going on. It's like with the government, it's like there's not enough protection of these interests. So like tariffs is a case in point. Normally the government is very strong. Like we have to have global trade. But if global trade is no longer giving cheaper goods to American citizens, right? There's no longer anything in it for America. Like Trump's right about that in a sense, right? If there's nothing in it for the Americans with trade, then why not just say, oh, okay, well, they don't care, so we're just going to slap a tariff, and if you don't pay us through these secret, behind the scenes, under the table deals to fund our whatever, then we're going to keep a tariff on you. Because the tariffs are just extortion, just plain and simple. Anyway, so you have this all these little people going on, and so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it was the Christian nationalists, right, or some sect, some part of a Christian nationalist, whatever, decided that they wanted to get rid of Kirk for a couple of reasons. One, they wanted to help Trump get away from the Epstein stuff. It's like, we need to help, MAGA America. They're coming after him. We have to stop them from coming after him by creating this week-long distraction by killing this guy who's actually drifting to being anti-Israel. So, they're talking with their Zionist friends, and their Zionist friends are like, yeah, I mean, Kirk is like, we have a problem with him. Again, I don't think there's a conspiracy, people getting together, but they're all of sort of mind. So whoever basically, killed Kirk, the other ones, it's not like they call him up and say, oh, listen, I see that you did it. No, nobody knows, but they all know instinctively what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? They all understand. They're all pirates, right? They all understand what they need to do. So if a pirate takes a ship, in the sea, right, and doesn't kill everybody and leaves, and another pirate comes by, they don't need to talk to the first pirate to know that they need to kill everybody on that ship, because they don't want the people on the ship to say it was a pirate, right? Or there's problems in the area, or even that they saw them. So everybody's going to cover up for everybody else. They don't even need to talk to anybody. So I just saw recently that they're redoing the plaza where Charlie Kirk is shot. Right, they're putting a new foundation there. The Dairy Queen has been closed. Like, all the stuff you would need to do evidence to figure out where the bullet came from. All that stuff, they're destroying that. Now, why would they do that? Again, Utah is it's a cult state, right? So I mean, they're like, oh yeah, we got to fix all this because we don't want the FBI, like, or whatever, other researchers coming in and figuring this out. We don't know what happened, but we don't want them figuring it out because it's not good for us. It's just not, whatever it is, whoever shot him, it's not good for us. Like, I think under Utah law, you have to get an autopsy if it's like from a violent effect or something like that. So they broke the law right there by not giving it an autopsy. All these things, like I said, so it's not like I think that they got some call from somebody, from Netanyahu, and said, don't do an autopsy on him because Mossad did it. No, it's not like that at all. Again, they already know. So they're doing it. Whatever it is, they don't want to know, but they know that they have to cover it up. All these little gangs that are basically pirates going around the world trying to extort people, take all this money and whatever, they all know they need to cover for each other to a certain extent. So in a sense, the United States has become like Russia. And Trump doesn't like Putin because he's, running this big military. Like, Trump has zero geopolitical interest. He's never had any interest. He just looks at Putin as another guy that knows how to do business the way he does business, right? Which is to find some sort of weakness and exploit it and make money to get this money. That's what he likes about Putin. He likes the way the Russian economy is run. Well, I shouldn't say economy is run because, again, Putin's not thinking about the economy. Everybody's just thinking about how can I make more money. So that's the way the world is. That's the way the United States is. Everybody's going out to try to make more money. And the reason that the press doesn't cover it is because they're run by corporate people, and even their own jobs. Like, everybody sort of understands there's nothing good for us here to find these people, and we can't tell the story anyway, right? So, the New York Times found that there's, 5 or 6 guys behind the whole tariff thing, right? And figured out how they're going to make money. Like, it would be very complicated, and the public wouldn't get it, right? They just wouldn't get it. And then if they said, oh, well, Trump engineered this, well, if you look at Trump, you're like, you can't engineer anything. Even people who love him probably know that, right? So anyway, let me just look at my notes. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to say. Charlie Kirk assassination is just part of a wide range of pirates and thieves taking over everywhere. A government that's very weak because it doesn't have anything to offer anymore, where actually the economy is shrinking. Things are getting worse for everybody all across the world. China, Russia, United States, South America, everybody is struggling. Everybody is hurting. And because they can't give everything, the pirates are now roaming the seas and taking everything, and Charlie Kirk is just one of those casualties. Okay, now I'm going to go to sleep.